Yeah, so guys, good morning, and good morning from here in the US. It's morning. We want to really appreciate you. Jonathan, maybe you want to put it on presentation mode, and then Jonathan, are you there? You want to put it on presentation mode, and then don't know where you're starting from. Yeah, I want to introduce our speaker. My name is John. Jonathan, please, could you go to your first page, please? Yeah, my name is John. I am here to, I'm the president and CEO of NVIT. And of course, this program today is organized by a campus back in Africa, Otukpo, Benue State, particularly in Nigeria, where we do have a campus and an innovation hub. We have team there that are doing a lot of things from AI, from cloud computing, DevOps, and UI, US, and the rest, and full stack development. We do a lot of training over there. And this today is the second day of our bootcamp, an AI bootcamp where we are making sure we train everybody to get to use AI tools and stuff like that. So this morning I have one of our speaker and mentor this morning is Dr. Jonathan Ape. He is a technology leader, a product innovator. We've worked for a long time, actually, and he knows a lot of telecom. He has his PhD in emerging technology, computer science, at the same time, master's, PSc as well. So he's here this morning to really focus us around prompt engineering that we'll be talking about. It's going to take some time. And after that, Dr. Paul will also come, and then it's going to be very, 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 very interesting. I need you to pay serious attention and benefit from there. Over to you, Dr. Jonathan. You are really welcome, and we appreciate you for being with us today, Doc. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Engineer John. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you very well.
I can hear you.
Beautiful.
We
Thank
can
you.
hear you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here again. Yesterday, we started out on a very exciting journey. And I'm happy that the speakers who spoke before me, Capo, Dr. Paul, and even our engineer John, they have spoken so much about AI. What I'm here to do this afternoon is just to take it a little bit forward in this journey of AI. I'm hoping that at the end of today, some of us, if not everyone, will be able to become more confident in interacting with AI. So I'll be talking to you about a very important aspect of AI called prompt engineering. Let me know if you can see my screen very well. I hope there is nothing blocking. Yeah. You can see my screen well, right? I think it's fine.
Yeah, we can see Jonathan.
Okay, beautiful. Yes. So I'll be talking to you about prompt engineering. It's an aspect that is very important, even in the age that we are in. I want to start by making very quick few points that will probably guide us as we continue on this journey of prompt engineering. So essentially, right, prompt engineering, like Engineer John mentioned to us about interacting with AI yesterday. So we are going to do a little more deep dive into it. And one of the things I wanted to talk to us about before we go on this journey is that right now, right, prompt engineering is an evolving skill or area in AI that is it's become essential, right? If you want to interact with AI. And I tried to draw an analogy yesterday, right, in the few moments that I spoke, that as humans, we begin to transition, right, into AI. As we begin to, AI become more involved with our day-to-day activity. Even whatever you do in your workplace or school or anywhere that you are working, right? AI is not just going to be another tool for you to use anymore. It is becoming a collaborative teammate, right? So it's becoming like another team member. So it requires certain skills, right, for effective communication, right? So just like a human being, where you need to have a common language where you can talk and get the best out of that fellow that you are working with. Just like you require emotional intelligence, you need to know when the person is angry, how do you approach them, and all of that. AI prompt engineering is a skill that you will need to get the best out of AI systems as we continue, as AI become more and more involved with our day-to-day work. We have phones, we have organizations now are coming up with different systems that have AI embedded. And if you are going to maximize the use of those systems so that you become more productive and add value to those organizations or your own business, you will need to understand what prompt engineering is about. Recently, I wrote an article which I published about the rise of AI as team member. Why prompt engineering is the future of human AI collaboration. So I want to believe that as we go along, you will get to understand better how important prompt engineering is. So what are we going to be learning, right? We are going to learn about prompt engineering, but before we go into all of that, little more details about understanding what AI is about, more like refreshing what we learned yesterday. We'll do an introduction into LLM, that's large language model. We'll be using ChatGPT a lot as our example, right? We interact with it, and then the skills that you will gather from the prompt engineering class, you'll be able to transfer it to any other platform, LLM platform that you might want to use, whether it's Ask Kumui AI or DeepSeek or anyone that you are conversant with, or Google Gemini, all of them. It requires basic understanding of prompt engineering to be able to make the most of it, right? Different use cases for the different aspect of the work that you do, whether you're a teacher or you're an engineer or you're a developer. It's useful across all walks of life. We'll be looking at that hands-on demonstration if we have time. We'll be looking at the different workflow, and again, we will emphasize more about the ethics, like Capo was telling us yesterday. So because a lot of misuse are going to be out there, and it's important that we educate people on why they should not misuse AI. So quick deep dive into AI. So what is AI? So it's basically about a system that simulates human intelligence, right? As humans, we learn from what we see within our environment. We also reason. We try to use rules to approximate or define or come to certain conclusion. We also self-correct. So when you have a computer system, right, that has this human ability, right, of learning, of reasoning, or self-correcting itself, you can refer to that digital a computer system as an AI, right? So AI basically is mimicking human intelligence. That is a system that mimics human intelligence. So AI it's not just starting, it started from somewhere and it continues to evolve. Right from the 1950s to the 60s, we heard about, those of us that had some background in computer science, we heard about Alan Turing, yeah, where he tried to first of all talk about the fact that machines are intelligent like humans. We heard about how that an investigator, right? I mean, a human sat down and was trying to read text from a computer system and another human. And there was a point where he could not tell the difference between the text that was sent by a machine and that which was sent by a human, which already established the fact that machines can reason like humans, right? From there, we had seasons from the 1970s to the 80s, which were a period of excitement and investment on AI. Those were the summer seasons of AI. And then there was a time, the winter season, where, I mean, there were expectations that people had that AI was going to deliver, it couldn't deliver. So people were disillusioned, right? So that season also happened. Then in the 90s down to the 2000s, there was a renewed interest with the advancement of machine learning, which prominently was led by the IBM Deep Blue, which defeated a chess champion, right? Gary Kasparov, right? So that there was a renewed interest in AI again. And then from the 2010s to the present time, where we now have a rapid growth in AI capabilities driven by big data and all of that. So today we can talk of self-driving cars for those who are in the developed world, who have seen what is happening, right? We also have voice assistant, which we already have even on our mobile phones and all of that. So what are the different types of AI? Probably what you have seen and interacted with right now is the narrow AI. It's also called the weak AI. It's a system that is designed and trained for a specific task, right? Something like your Siri is supposed to assist you on your mobile phone, able to, when you speak, is able to pick up the names of contacts that you have saved on your phone. Alexa, right? If you are conversant with Alexa, those of you who maybe have shopped on Amazon, especially those in the UX. We also have now prominently, which we are going to be using in this class, ChatGPT, right? So these are AI systems that are trained specifically in a particular way for specific purpose. We also have Ask Kumuyi AI, which have been trained in the teaching and in the teaching of Pastor Kumuyi, for instance, and different recommendation algorithms. They are all narrow. They are narrow, they are weak because they have been trained, the models have been trained with to do specific tasks. Anything outside of that, you are your own, right? So we also have the general AI. These ones are called, they are strong. These are they are systems that have a generalized human cognitive ability, right? So they can behave almost like human. They have the capability of performing any intellectual task like a human can do. But general AI, they are supposed to have the ability to respond to the environment like humans would do. They can respond to situations as situations are changing. They are able to adapt to processes accordingly. But they are at best still hypothetical, and they are subject of ongoing research. We do not currently have an AI that is in its, that is actually, a general AI that reasons, that has the ability to respond to its environment, situations, and adapt all of those things that humans can do. We currently really do not have. It's still hypothetical, it's still subject of research and all of that. Then there's the super intelligent one. I'm telling you this so that you know what to expect in the future, right? We have also the super intelligent, which has the ability, is supposed to surpasses what the humans can do. Maybe they want to develop angels, I don't know. But let's move on. importance of AI in today's world, there are countless number of the importance that we can derive from this. What is important is to know the basics and know how you can adopt, AI in your own workflow. But just to quickly say that where it has to do with automation of what you routinely do, right? A task that you do like a routine, AI is important within that space. So AI can help you handle what is repetitive, what is mundane. When it helps you in this way, it helps the human to free up more time that you can use for more creative and complex activity, things that are more strategic. So AI can help you in automating your routine stuff, right? It can also help you in enhanced decision making, right? So there are things that you may not, maybe because you are subject to emotion, you are subject to the things happening around you, you may not concentrate, you may be distracted to doing certain things. With AI, you are able to make more quality decision, right? From analyzing vast amount of data, which again, you don't have, as human, you don't have that much capability of doing at the same time, right? Or it will take you longer time to achieve it. So AI can help you look through those vast amount of data, analyze them quickly, and present data to you in a form that you can quickly make a decision. And this is very important for businesses and for many other things that we do. Whether you are a business owner, you are a pastor, you are a choir master, whatever it is that you do, AI with the right adoption, right, can help you in quality decision making, right? It's also important to mention that it helps you to have personalized experience, right? AI enables personalized experience across different areas, whether it's from e-commerce to recommendation to personalized learning path. For those of you who are in education, right, AI can help you, tell you, okay, this is what you need based on the assessment of your knowledge level or competence level. It can tell you, okay, go for this course. Okay, since you have been able to achieve all of this, maybe this is the next level of customer engagement that you need to go through. So irrespective of your use case, right, AI is able to help you, right? Even in innovation and advancing, fostering new opportunities, AI can help you in all of that. We cannot overemphasize also the economic impact that AI can afford us. So let's deep dive further, right? So what is driving a ChatGPT, for instance? I think Dr. Paul spoke to us about machine learning yesterday. He told us about deep learning. He told us about machine learning. He told us about different models, right, behind AI, right? For a ChatGPT, right, the model that is driving the whole thing, the great experience that we currently have when you interact with it is the large language model. By definition, right, is a type of deep learning model, right? Is trained on large amount of text data. It also can train on video, it can train on voice with the new capabilities that we are seeing, right? It has the ability to generate text from whatever you have imputed, right, by predicting the next word in the sentence, thereby enabling them to produce coherent and contextual. I want to emphasize this capability, prediction, and then is able now to produce coherent and contextually relevant text. So this is important, especially for the fact that we are talking about prompt engineering. So depending on what you have put in, it's able to produce something that is contextual based on the quality of your prompt, right? So it has some training process also. So LLMs are trained using technique called unsupervised learning. So during the training, the model is fed with large data sets of text and learns to predict the next word in sentence. The process helps the model learn patterns, grammar, contextual usage, and all of that. These are things that come to bear when you interact with LLMs. So how generative AI like ChatGPT GPT work? How do they work? They work by taking input. So for those of us that already have account on LLMs generative AI like ChatGPT, GPT, you have to put an input, right? So a user normally would type a message, which we call prompt, right, into the chat interface, right? For example, you can say, write a short story about a character who learns a valuable lesson. It will now look at what you have typed and then work with it. So the next step, when you do that, it will be that it will tokenize it. What does this mean? So this input, your text input, for instance, is broken down into individual words or token, right? For instance, you have said write a short. So it will take each of the words, it will break it into each sentence made up of word. It will consider write, for instance, as a token A is also a token all the way to lesson. After it has broken it down to tokens, this process is called tokenization, right? It will now do encoding. The tokens are now converted into numerical representation called embeddings, and then it will process it further, where you have transformer model. So the embeddings are fed into transformer model, which analyzes the input. Well, I will just go through this. The goal is that we have an introduction to this. Those who are interested in further knowledge can now enroll for more detail. So we go through transformer model, generation, post-processing, and then output, right? Then what are the features, right, of the different generative AIs that we have? It has the ability to generate text. So when you put in your question, your prompt, it can now come back to you with certain results, depending on the quality of your prompt, which we are going to look at here today. It has also conversational ability. You can talk to it like we are talking. You ask it question, it gives you feedback, you ask again, it iterates through the different. You can talk to, you can say hello, go say hi, go to, how will I help you today? And all of that it has conversational ability. And this can be applied in different areas. Sorry, are you guys with me? Just so that I am sure I'm not alone.
We are hearing you, Dr. Jonathan. We muted them, so you can also type if you are hearing. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So I was talking about the features that we can see with generative AI. So I've talked about it has the ability to generate text. It also have ability to converse. It can engage you, right? And I was saying that you can adopt this capability, right, even in customer service, virtual assistants, and interactive chatbots. You can use all of that. It has the ability to summarize a huge amount of data. It can summarize it for you in such a way that you can quickly take decision on. It also has the ability to translate. So so it has the ability to translate things, right? And also it can attempt to question and answer and even information retrieval. It can get all of that for you. So example of generative AI, like ChatGPT in action. So ChatGPT, for instance, can be used for customer support. Um, Apart from that, DeepSeek, we now hear about DeepSeek, they can help you automate responses to common customer queries, right? And developers can find this very, very, very interesting because there are APIs that they can consume, right? And embed it in their own application to do this kind of service. This is very important. This improves customer satisfaction and operational efficiency. Another thing that can happen as an example of, generative AI in action is the fact that it can help you to create content. So you could be a writer or a marketer. You can leverage any of these generative AI, right? To generate ideas. You can use it to draft articles. You can use it to prepare messages for somebody for somebody who wants to use, for instance, Ask Kumuyi AI. You can use it to prepare message. You can use it for different things depending on your own use case. Even to create content on social media. This accelerates content creation process and ensure a consistent output for you. But it's important that you know how to prompt very well so that you get the best out of it. It can serve as an educational tool. Those who are, for instance, teaching, you can use it to prepare teaching plan, generate teaching plan, and then what are you going to be teaching? How are you going to be teaching it? Who are the audience? What are the kind of knowledge that you want to pass across? Very, 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 very useful. It can serve as your personal assistant and all of that. So we are into the main thing, prompt engineering. I've told us that if you want to get, as we move in the world of AI now, because it's now everywhere, it's ubiquitous, right? You begin to now see that sometimes the humans might not be relevant in certain areas. You need to now few people now begin to interact with AI systems. If you go to some places now, there are robots that you just need to put in money and then you retrieve what you want to buy. Unlike before, that humans will need to do that. There are places that you don't need to do all of that anymore. But in terms of prompting, we are saying that what are the things that you need to get the most out of AI? If you are working in a place, how do you use AI so that, just like a team member, that if you want to get the best from them, maybe you have to maybe be nice to them hours before you make the request. All those human intelligence, emotional intelligence that you have, ability to communicate in a particular way, ability to negotiate, all of those things, all those skills, the same way that you learn those skills to be able to play well in a team, right? We are saying that prompt engineering is now another skill that you need to learn so that your human computer or human AI collaboration will now become more effective. Otherwise, you will not be able to get the best from it. And what happens if you are not able to get the best from AI system? Because organizations will begin to invest more in AI to cut down their staff strength, right? They want to become more efficient. They don't want so much mistakes. So very high skilled people will now be needed. People who have AI skills, will now be needed. So, but since humans will have to operate those things, you need these skills to be able to interact properly with the AI system so that you can help with your organizational productivity, efficiency, and all those bottom lines, right? This is why prompt engineering is very, very important. And we are saying that it's a process of designing. Prompt engineering is a process of designing and optimizing your natural language prompts to elicit specific response from LLM, right? We are saying that you need to sit down and say, okay, what do I need? I need ABC. How do I get it from this AI system? How do I talk to the AI system to elicit, right, this kind of response that I'm looking at? If I need the report in tabular form, if I need it in maybe a Venn diagram, if I need it in a particular format, right, what do I need to do? How do I need to ask that question so that I get the response within the next 2 to 3 minutes? I have my report, I send it, we are good, right? The goal here is to craft prompts that are clear, number one, they are clear, there is no ambiguity, they are concise and well-defined in such a way that it allows you to generate accurate and relevant outputs from AI. This is the point. It's all about productivity. It's all about using AI to get the best from it. This is why prompt engineering is important. Now, prompt engineering involves several techniques. Like I mentioned in the previous slide, clear specification. You need to define the task. If you are going to prompt, right, you need to define the task. I need us to pay careful attention as we dive into prompt engineering. You need to define the task or the question that you want it to answer. You need to be very clear about what you need. 2, context provision. You need to provide, if you are doing prompt, you need to provide a context, meaning that you don't just ask AI general question. You need to provide some kind of context that will improve the quality of the feedback that you will get from the system. If you are generic about it, it will give you very watery response, right? So specifying, sometimes you want to specify the kind of output, the format that you want the output to be. You can indicate that as well. So indicating the desired output of the response is something that is important. Also, you should avoid ambiguity, ensuring that the prompt is unambiguous, like subject to interpretation. I can interpret in any way I want. If you allow the AI to have that, to do that, then you will not get the best out of it. All right. So testing and refining. AI gives you ability to iterate, right? Okay, you have asked, you have prompt now. You look at the feedback that is giving you. Okay, if it's not exactly what you are looking at, you can ask it to adjust it. Okay, speak in a more professional tone. No, okay, be more friendly. Oh, this is too harsh. Okay, all of those refinements, you can do it iterative until you get the best out of it. Now, effective prompt engineering can significantly improve the quality of the response that you get from the language model, making it a viable skill for those working with AI language system. All right? If you don't prompt well, there is a concept called AI hallucination that can happen. AI can also lie to you. It can think out something out of the blue. Since your prompt was not clear, since you didn't provide a context, let's get this very well. Since you also maybe you didn't specify the format, this is not critical hallucination, but if you didn't provide a clear specification of what you want, you didn't provide context, and your prompt is subject to different interpretation, it can lead to AI hallucinating. And at the end of the day, you don't get the best from it. So this is why this course is very important. All right. Now, let's talk about prompting frameworks. There are several frameworks that you can use to prompt. You have tens of them. But for the purpose of this class, we'll just limit ourselves to maximum 6. One of them is the RTF framework. What does that do? That one is saying, the RTF framework is saying that if you are going to elicit response from the AI system, you should specify the role that you want the AI to play. Like saying, as a doctor, as a business developer, as a marketing manager in ABC, when you say in ABC, you are beginning to provide context. But first, specify. The RTF says that specify the role you want AI to play, right? Now, specify also the task, meaning that you have to clearly state the task or action that you need, right? And then the format that you want it presented. Example of this kind of prompt is, as a digital marketing expert, that is a role that you have specified. Provide a step-by-step guide. You have specified the task. Now, you are saying a step-by-step guide on creating a successful social media campaign in bullet point. In bullet point, now you have specified the format that you want. Are we getting this? So this is important because this framework is effective when you want AI to respond with a particular perspective or expertise, right? While maintaining a specific format. Are we getting it? So you, at any point in time, you need to think about, how do I elicit the best response from AI? You can assume the RTF, you can adopt the RTF framework depending on what you want to achieve. Otherwise, you can consider the second one called the tag framework. What does this say? It's saying that in the tag framework, you can use the type, meaning that you define the type of response that you are looking at. Is it an explanation that you want? Is it a story? Or is it a list that you are expecting? And then you also specify who are the audience, who is the audience that will consume this information. So you have to specify the target audience for the AI to be aware. In this way, it will help in the contextualization of the response that you get. And then you have to specify the goal, what you intend to achieve from this. That is the purpose or the desired outcome. So let's look at an example. An example of a tag framework prompt will be, write an engaging story. Did we get that? Write an engaging story. That's the type, right? Now, the audience for children age 6 to 8, that's the audience. To teach the value of sharing. Of course, we know that children at this age, they need to understand why it's important that they share. So this person, probably a children teacher or a parent, wanting to inculcate the value for sharing, right? So you can prompt and the AI will give you the best response for this. All right. There's another tag that is not type, audience, goal. This one 1 second. Okay. I'm having, okay. Why is the course? It's not moving. Oh my. Okay. So sorry. It looks like I was having some freeze. So there's a tag. This one is task, action, and goal. So in this one, it's talking about clearly stating what needs to be done. Specify the action the AI should take, and then describe the desired outcome or the purpose of the prompt. So, for instance, you can have create a social media post that promotes our upcoming webinar. That's the action that you want to get. Promoting the upcoming webinar. Why? To increase registration by 30%. That's the goal you want to achieve. So you tell the AI, right, that create a social media post that promotes, our upcoming webinar in such a way that the registration will be increased. Apparently, there was a previous one, will be increased by 30%. That's the goal, right? Then there's also the RISE framework. This speaks about you telling the AI the role of the persona that the AI should assume. What's the input? Provide the necessary information or context, right? And then the steps that you want. Request step-by-step guidance or structured approach. What's the expectation? Specify the desired outcome, the format or the style. This could be something as a career coach. That's the role. Using the context of transitioning from a tech role to management, input, you say using, so that's the input you are giving, right? And then you are saying outline, all right, the steps for acquiring the necessary leadership skills. Present the steps in a clear and actionable list. Expectation. All right. So the fifth one is the BAP framework. That's before, after, and bridge. The before means you have to describe the current situation or the current problem, right? After, explain the desired outcome or solution. And then bridge, ask for the steps or strategies needed to go from before to after. Look at an example. Currently, and owners of websites, web developer, professionals in search optimization might relate with this. Currently, our website has a high bounce rate. Bounce rate for product managers, people now, they are trying to use your website, they get to a point and then they just close. They are not going further with whatever they are doing. So the bounce rate. So our website has a high bounce rate. That's the before or the current situation. We want to increase our user engagement and reduce bounce rate by 30%. That's what they want to achieve. What strategy can we implement, right, to achieve this? You're asking AI, right? So AI now would take this input and give you the after. So this framework is great for problem-solving prompts as it sets up the context, the desired result, and the need for actionable steps. The final point is the care framework. This has to do with the content, the action, the result, and the example that you are looking at. So what's an example? on the topic of effective time management, that's the content. Provide tips, the action that you expect to help remote workers increase productivity. That's the result that you're looking at. And now you give example of what you are looking at. For example, using the Pomodoro technique, right, to maintain focus is an example. All right. So these are the different frameworks that there are many of them, right? And it's a knowledge economy. You can go out there to look out for more, or when you come for our specialized, advanced classes, where we provide you more details, right? You can learn more and apply them in your day-to-day work. But we will limit ourselves to these 6 for now. There are more about prompts, but we'll just get to more important thing for now. So how do we enhance productivity with, say, a ChatGPT, right? We already know that it's a powerful tool, right, that enhance productivity by automating repetitive tasks. For instance, providing quick access to information and generating content efficiently, right? So the model can understand and generate human-like text, making it useful for various professional and personal tasks. So we want to see the different use cases, things that you can use ChatGPT for, depending on what your own area of use is. Is somebody trying to say something? Sorry, I'm trying to check. Do you mean we should go into questions now, or can I finish up? Then we can come back to questions.
Yeah, you can continue, but I thought you're going to go into ChatGPT to start working now. It's okay.
Yes, let me.
Because your time is
almost
you have
there.
few minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Maybe we should just jump these points. The different use cases. ChatGPT can help you in drafting mails, all of that. It can help you in generating ideas. We've talked about ideas and brainstorming already. In automating routine tasks, can do all of that, providing learning and training support, enhancing customer service, all of that. So whether you are into education, you are a business entrepreneur, or you are a professional, private sector professional, you are in government, your committee leader, whoever you are, ChatGPT can help you, LLM can help you in your different use case. So let's quickly do some practical, if we may, right? That's our hands-on demonstration. I don't know how many of us have already account with ChatGPT. GPT, sorry. Okay, I see 2 persons raising up their hands. Are you confirming that you already have an account, right? Yeah, 3, 4. Out of 170 plus 7, 6, 7. Okay, we have 10 people. Okay. For those of us,
there are people that are agreeing that they have on the chat box.
Okay, beautiful. It means that some of the things that I've mentioned here, it's not entirely new to some of you, but you need to be more efficient in your prompting, right? So let's try some prompting for those of you who already have account. Just in case you don't have a ChatGPT account, you can just go to ChatGPT, GPT.com.
Jonathan, you are not sharing that screen. You want to share where you are. You want to share the
No, I
maybe
was just
type
typing.
this.
I was just trying to type in the chat.
Okay, okay. I thought you were going to go to URL to do that. It's okay.
Okay, let me go that. Let me do that. Let me do that. I will have to minimize briefly. Okay. Let me know if you can see my screen. Is my screen?
We are only seeing the PowerPoint.
Okay. 1 second. I will stop and then share again. Let me share. I want to see if I can share my whole screen, but it looks like okay. At least you can share. You can see my screen now, right?
All right, we can see now.
Okay. So this is the platform. Go to chatgpt.com. I've already created an account, but you click and you see you'll be asked to register, right? And then we can go ahead. So I'm
And
going
if
to
you have, if you have also smartphones, you can also download the app from App Store, or if you are using iPhone, you can download it from App Store or from the Google Play Store as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So this is my ChatGPT environment. This area where my cursor is the chatbot box, right? I can now do my prompting here. This is where I elicit response from the AI system. So ChatGPT is an AI system. And for us, like I was saying before, all along, for us to get the most out of this system, we need to understand its language. We need to know what are the keywords I might need to use, what are the contexts I need to provide, what are the roles I want it to take in responding to me, right? You need to have all those understanding so that you can prompt or communicate with it effectively. So for instance, I might be, what role can we take now? As a filmmaker, right? Let's say as a film producer, right? Draft and interesting story about the ancient Benin Kingdom in Nigeria. Are we getting it? You see, the film producer is a role that you want the AI to take, right? Now you are giving it the task, right? in saying draft an interesting story about the ancient Benin Kingdom in Nigeria. So there is Benin in there is Benin Republic. So we are giving it a context, right? We know it's arguable that there is only one Benin Kingdom, which is in Nigeria, but it's okay to be specific, right? So we are talking about clearly specify what you want, right? And then if you want, we can also specify the format that you want it. Like, I need a story presented in simple English, correct? So I can prompt. Let's see what. So as a movie producer, right, we have asked to draft an interesting story about the ancient Benin Kingdom in Nigeria, and see what the title of the story is, interesting story is, the Bronze Curse, and then the log line. A young bronze caster in the ancient Benin Kingdom must break a mysterious curse after a sacred artifact disappeared, threatening the peace of the land. So these are the synopsis, So as a movie producer with this story, you know all the things that you will require, the cast, the kind of costume. So for instance, you want to iterate further. Okay. Please, in the iteration first, you could have even gone to say, specify the cast. So this, you are iterating the cast, and a description of the costumes. All right. You can say, present this maybe in tabular form. Are we getting it? The cast and costume description. So we have a character called Ogi. Okay, Ogi. Ogi, the story, the role in the story, the costume that Ogi is going to wear, and all of that. All right. So we can do this. It's still generating. For those who are maybe into software development, you can okay, say maybe generate. So as a software, as a maybe as a Python developer, right? Generate a login code. With maybe two-factor authentication. Are you getting it? Authentication. See what it will do. So it will tell you the requirements that you need, and then code implementation, right? It will generate all the code, talking about DB access to the app, how you will pass the app into your as a parameter to your main class, and all of that. User class, the module, how it connects to the database. This is a method definition, generating the OTP, the random numbers that needs to be generated, all of that. When you are registering, this is a class that will register using from the form, all the posts, requests from the form and all of that. So it generates. If there are Python developers or general developer on the line, I'm sure you can relate with this. So now it goes ahead to explain. ChatGPT can export, for instance. You can say export this to Word, for instance. So depending on what your role is, what you are trying to do, you can be a tailor. You want some idea about style and all of that. It can help you out. As a tailor, you can use it. As a fashion designer, you can use it. All of it. So I think I will stop here. Our time is already fast spent, right? But just to quickly tell us that the thing about, can you still see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. AI ethical consideration. This point was made yesterday, but just to reiterate that as AI technology becomes more integrated into our daily tasks, it's crucial that we consider ethical implication of its use, right? Ensuring ethical use of AI involves addressing issues such as privacy, bias, transparency, and accountability, right? So there are a few aspects that I just quickly want to touch on. Number one is the privacy and data security aspect, which this means that AI systems require access to data. We all know that. The models they train on data, right? So raising privacy concern can come up, right? So we need to handle sensitive information responsibly, right? Meaning that what should be anonymous should remain anonymous, right? There are companies now, they already have ChatGPT embedded in their system, but the contract they have with ChatGPT is that they should not train on their own data and make it public, right? Those considerations are there around privacy and data security. So there are guidelines. If you have data, you need to make sure that the use of those data, they are anonymous, right? Implement robust security measures, inform users and obtain consent if you must do that. Then bias, there is aspect of bias and fairness. So AI can inherit biases from training data. So if a data that have been trained, there is a bias on it, that's some kind of error, or certain decisions are reached that it doesn't look at the whole aspect. So it can lead to unfair outcomes, right? So we need to mitigate biases to ensure there is fairness. So it's just like saying that, oh, all black people are this, all white people are, no. A data that skew decisions in that regard already has bias and it can be prone to error, right? So there's also the aspect of transparency and accountability. Users should understand that AI decisions and system limit, there are AI decision and system limitations, they are there, right? So ensuring that there is transparency will build trust. So if people don't know what you are doing under the hood, right? They don't know how exactly you are using the data they are providing to you, right? Then it erodes trust. But if they know, if you are open to them, this is how we'll use the data, and they can see the truth in what you are doing, then you can enjoy that trust. So provide clear explanation, right? Document limitations and risk. Don't say that my AI system has zero error, it doesn't have, no. Be open, be transparent, let the public know what the limitations are, establish accountability mechanism, all of that. I'm saying this to be done because we don't know the kind of people we are talking to. Some can now go ahead and build AI systems that can do wonderful things, but it's important that you understand these ethical aspects, right? And then misuse and harm prevention. AI can be misused, which can lead to harm. Implementing safeguards to prevent and address misuse is very important. And then the final point is guideline for ethical AI use. Following guideline ensures ethical AI use. There are different laws that different countries are trying to catch up, regulations that are coming up, international regulations and all of that. So we need to acquaint ourselves with these things, with these regulations, so that we keep within the ambit of ethical use. I'd like to thank everyone for the audience. And I think it's time for questions. We can take questions before we close the session. Thank you so much. All right.
Yes, guys. If Jonathan, there was question in the chat. Maybe you can take some. Let me look at one. He said, "Please, I have a question. Is ChatGPT designed to provide different response to the same prompt entered by different users?"
Yes, it will. The different prompts.
The same prompt, but is ChatGPT designed to provide different response to the same prompt entered by different users?
That's interesting. I should think that it will provide the same response.
Yeah, I can go. If you want me to go, I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want me to? Okay. Yes, it can provide different answers. And the reasons are these. There's what we call, so if you're already writing and you have some, maybe you have given some context before, because it keeps memory. So if the memory for conversion is within, there is what we call session memory. So that session memory is that if you are still conversing and it's not too long and it still keep the session, it can still try to refer. It thought that it's what you are trying to say before that you want to still continue. So in that context, even though it's different, the same prompt, like another person, it could be giving a different type of answer. Another way it happens is that ChatGPT itself, the OpenAI that built this product, because they want to stay competitive and make the system perfect, at every given point in time, they test run different type of AI models that are periodically released for fine-tuning purposes. So if it falls within that time and what you are trying to get a result for goes into a different model than the model used by the other person, of course, it's also possible to get a different answer. Then Dr. Jonathan talked about diversity, I think, and what we call randomizations, which is there is a kind of degree of randomness in terms of the natural feeling. It's like you asking a human being, the way Jonathan will explain a question, if I ask him, may be different from the way I will answer the question if you ask me the same question. So that is how ChatGPT and this model behave. Jonathan, sorry, over to you.
Yes, thank you for that. The point you have made is speaking to the part of context. So when you open that chat, you have been chatting with, you have been engaging it all along. It knows your name. It knows the conversation you guys have had. And then you now post a question that somebody else have asked before. It's going to answer you within the context of all that you have been discussing before, most of the time. So it's very important. Sometimes that is what you experience. But if assuming that there was no context before and two different people ask the same question, since there's no context, that is context free, then it's going to provide the same kind of answers because it's looking at you. There's no context to where you are coming from. I hope that answers the answer that John has provided, and this answers adequately that question.
Jonathan, I see another. You take only two because of time. Dr. Paul need to come. So there is one here. I think very early. Say, is it possible to use ChatGPT to create a video? And if yes, please, can we demonstrate using ChatGPT to create video of the demonstration?
I'm not sure of video, but I think it depends on, if at all, it depends on your subscription also.
Who is sharing screen?
Are you sharing screen?
No, somebody is. Who is Oche Samuel? You are trying to write.
I know you can generate. You can generate PowerPoint presentation now. You can generate.
Can you stop sharing screen, please? Go ahead. Go ahead, Dr. Jonathan.
I'm not sure about video, and John, you can confirm you can generate video.
Yeah,
now, I know it can take video, but I don't know about generation.
Yeah, it can. Some of the models by some work can generate some kind of video if you give some context. Like the same script that Jonathan has written, it can come up with different images, but you need to be able to prompt very well. and I can actually generate some kind of video, actually, not too long, but you need to make sure that you patch your this thing, what do I call it? You have the various sim or the script of the video. Not too long video, but yes, it can generate video. Beyond ChatGPT, there are other tools out
Yes.
there that can also generate video. If you look at the call, somebody is called Otai. Otai is an AI tool I use to take note. So since Jonathan has been talking, it keeps recording it, taking note for me, can even give me even the PowerPoint presentation. It can give me a very strong moment on Dr. Jonathan presentation. Even though I didn't take note, you can say, okay, this is wonderful. Take a video clips of it as well, or even reproduce it in a different context. So there are many other tools that I said. Sorry, over to you, Dr. Jonathan.
Yes. So if you look at my presentation, even my background is AI generated. All right. So my presentation, the pictures, the images you see there, they are generated by AI through prompting. So again, depending on the subscription that you have and the type of AI you're using, videos can be generated. But like Engineer John said, the length of the video will be limited. All right. So which last question can we take? The lucky last question.
Dr. Jonathan, there is one good one in the chat. I think from Izzy Oladili, say, please, I want to ask as a researcher. Okay, is it possible to, as a research, is it possible to prompt AI without having plagiarism?
So that's a very important, key question, great question that is asked. So for you to be able to do that, what's plagiarism? That's you make use of somebody's work without acknowledgement. That's plagiarism. So for you to avoid that, you can prompt the AI to say, provide me this content
Jonathan,
with
sorry to interrupt you. Can you go share your screen and then try to give a demo of what you're saying?
Yes, yeah, please. You say we're out of time. So okay, let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. Oh dear. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Let's do a prompt. As a researcher, right? Give me, okay. Right. Right. An account of the Nigerian Civil War. With referencing references, something like this. Because there are different accounts. You want to be sure that you are not just telling your own story. So let's see how.
While we are waiting on what Jonathan is doing to show you the references, I just want to say that I think somebody posted that it doesn't generate a video. It does, because there are new model now, and I can show too, but time, I can show my screen what I generated even while we were asking questions from ChatGPT. But again, prompting is very important. And so these classes are not actually enough. If you want detail, you need to go to nvit.tech/courses, and then you get deeper understanding. I think we have a 12-month a program for a 12 weeks a course to focusing on prompt engineering as well. Jonathan, over to you, please.
Yeah, so if you look at my screen, it is written a lot, starting from an introduction to the background and causes of the war, right? The major events of the war, quoting the dates, the impact and aftermath, conclusion, and then the sources where it got those information from. Sources number one, this Achebe C, 2012, there was a war, a personal history of Biafra. There is also, there is also the pension book by Kwe H, 2006, Biafra Revisited. So this is like a revision of this book, Africa Renaissance book. Then, okay. So these are references these are the sources where this information that AI has provided were collected from. If you want to maybe do deep, like more this thing, you can make use of this to do your referencing and all of that. But yes, this is part of what you can do to avoid plagiarism. There's people's work, you need to acknowledge them, that the content you are producing, even though it's from AI, but you acknowledge that AI actually referenced their work. This is one of the ways you can avoid plagiarism. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Jonathan. And thank you so much, everybody. I'm bringing Dr. Paul on to continue very soon because of our time. Dr. Jonathan, we appreciate you. Just for you guys, as we continue, it's a continuous something. There is one other interesting question on the call that says, what AI tool can we use to detect plagiarism and the rest? There are two out there. I know of a tool designed there are two designed by even Stanford and even some universities in the UK. I think Harvard did a lot too. You can use that, but from professionalism part in terms of building and in terms of the way AI is going, again, it's data. It's like reading a book and then writing from the book, right? Which, like yesterday, like I was mentioning, you must have to put human content, do a kind of a hybrid type of discussion must continue to be part of that. So even in the education industry, you cannot paralyze people or penalize people for using to guide them to produce something that is best, because AI is a tool to assist, not taking or replacing somebody. However, like I mentioned yesterday in my opening remark, you must not 100% depend on it. Though we have different series. In fact, as we go into the third series, which we are not there or near there yet, it will be more intelligent than the creator of the two, than human being. Reason being that it is like combining a lot of research and data from different brain. So it will become more too smart than the human being. And that is where the danger lies, without adhering to the ethical usages of AI or building AI too. I want to let me quickly share my screen once again to show you, somebody talked about video, right? When Dr. Jonathan was talking, I was trying to say, okay, when Dr. Jonathan was talking, I said, I tried to write something, just hold on. Okay. Okay, I said, I put a question the person asked in the 2 video, and of course, he wrote, this tool does the image. This is from OpenAI. They also have other tools that can do like voicing for that, and there are other things. So if you know how to prompt very well, you can get everything. So it did the kind of, it generate the images, it generate everything, generate different images based on the scripting scene, right? And then he went ahead to, and then I have to keep instructing the tool on what to do. He went to different tools that are available and get a cut from there. And actually, at the end of the day, it generates a video for me. So it does generate a video just to give you an assurance that it does. But you need to know how to do prompting. If you don't know how to prompt, sorry, you won't get what you want. Once again, thank you very much. Now we want to quickly give our time now to Dr. Paul. Dr. Paul, are you there? Dr. Paul. Dr. Paul, are you online now? Let me quickly bring on Dr. Paul. Dr. Paul is here. I don't know. Can you go on video so that I can see you and then bring you on? Dr. Paul, we can't hear you. I want to unmute you. So go on video. I will see. Okay, I can see. I can see. Okay. Thank you. Yes, I'm bringing Dr. Paul now. Let's also give you, sorry, just a moment, Dr. Paul. Okay. Yes, over to you guys. Once again, I have Dr. Paul with us this morning. He is a professor in this domain, and he'll be talking to you this morning. Over to you, Prof.
All right, thank you so much. And another wonderful time to be here. And thanks for all the series of teachings and learning we've been doing. So because of our time, so I have a couple of things to really discuss with us. And normally I'm supposed to go straight, diving directly into the hands-on, the practical aspect, but I just want to do a kind of debrief on the LLM and generative AI briefly, just to recap and at the same time to buttress a little on the question that was asked. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yeah, Doc, we can see. Thank you.
Okay.
Prof, we can see.
All right.
You want to put it on presentation? Okay.
Yeah, it's on presentation, right?
We can see that now. Thank you, Prof.
Okay, all right. So, okay, yesterday, okay, I was talking about, so now I just want to quickly dive into generative AI. So we have generative AI and we also have the LLMs. So when we talk about generative AI, that means you are training data, new data, and then you are generating, new outputs, similar outputs. So then when you are talking about the LLMs, that means you have a larger pool of data. And then when you do this, when you train those larger pool of data, you will now test it on a different data. and then you can also fine tune the model, and then you can use it on different domains, like the healthcare, agriculture and the likes. So the reason why the LLMs is being used by a lesser number of people is because it's resource intensive. So they needed to have lots of those hardware resources, and then not everyone can actually acquire those resources. So as a result of that, those who have the enough money and then enough capital to do that, and then when they do that, they make it available for the public, and then industries can come in and then request for their model and then fine-tune it to suit their own specifics. So now we have generative AI. So we have what we call text to text. So in the text to text, we are conversant with OpenAI, and we have the Gemini, and then we have the Cloudy AI. So these take natural language input and produces a text output. So then we also have the text to image. So we are looking at training a large data set of images and then generating a new image. So we have OpenAI, we have the Midjourney, and then we also have the diffusion. So these are three major ones that we have concerning that. So the OpenAI is the Dell-E, like Engineer John also mentioned earlier. The John-E can actually convert from text to image. So then we also have the stable diffusion, which is the last one. Then we also have the text to video. So like somebody was asking, how can we write a prompt and then want that to give out a video output? So we can actually do that on Google Lumiere, and then we have the Cog, and then we also have the Meta AI. So these tools are very handy when you are converting from text to video. Then we also have from 3D, text to 3D. You can also use the OpenAI, you can use the DeepMind, and then we can also use the Luma AI. We have the text to tax. So text to tax, we can use the Copilots, we can use Google Palm, and then we can also use the Seamless M40. So these are the things I want to share with us before we dive deeper into the practical aspects. So I don't know if anyone has a question regarding this. Okay, so sorry, briefly before we move to that, there's also one more thing I want to discuss. Okay, so we have this LLM, like I mentioned earlier. So you can actually pre-train them, and then you can fine-tune them to industry specifics. So like I said earlier, let's say, for instance, you have the hospital, you have an hospital that buys a pre-trained LLM model. So when they buy this from either Google or Meta or OpenAI, they can then fine-tune it to their own specifics. So they have their own specific data sets. So they fine-tune it to suit their data, knowing fully well that data is important. And then when you train models on data, the model gets better time by time. So as a result of that, you need to get those models, fine-tune the model. So when I say fine-tuning the model, it's like you are trying to look at, like, we have deep learning models, and then when you are trying to fine-tune it, so are you trying to ensure that those parameters are tweaked. So when you are tweaking those parameters, tweak it continuously until you get the one that actually fits the model that you are trying to get on your own specific domain. Then also you can have the hospital can then use the element to improve their diagnostics accuracy. So these are the major things that also we need to know, that when we get the pool of data, like we have when we get the LLM models, we can fine tune them to our own specifics domain, and then we can utilize it after being fine tuned. So now let's go to, so there's a practical hands-on I was trying to introduce yesterday. So we'll go into that, and then we'll also take some questions. So just share. Okay, so yeah, I was trying to do something yesterday, and I thought of sharing that as well. So sometimes you might like, the power of AI, everything is connected. And then when you are looking at your, you look at the model you have, this LLM, everything is connected to our Gmail, is connected to our email. And sometimes you want it to get a summary of what you are not able to do, right? Right directly. So with that, you can use this LLM, you can use this ChatGPT, you can use Gemini to do that. And I want to just give an example of that. So sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, so let me check. Okay, so like yesterday, I was just trying to summarize my email. So there are sometimes you have an unread mail, and then you just want ChatGPT to do that for you, or Gemini. So maybe due to your busy schedule. So all you just need to do is just to put at Gmail, integrate it to your Gmail, and then summarize my unread emails. So when you do that, it will get connected to it, and then you will see a lot of your emails or the unread emails being summarized. So you can do that as well, and then this will help to have summarize all the unread emails, and then just on the sheet you can have them, and then you can read and then be able to know what you need to do. So that is that. So let's go straight to the Cloudy. So yesterday, we're looking at the prompts, and then we're also looking at how we can use this to generate code on Cloud AI. So I gave a prompt yesterday. If you have the prompt, you can go ahead. So I still have the prompt with me. I'm going to share it. So that's the prompt. So this is a cloud, and then so you can input your prompts. Okay, so I already have this actually. So just input the prompts, and then you have so yeah, I have something related to that. So we're working on the plant identifier app. So this is the prompts I had yesterday, and then with this, you can have those codes, and at the same time, you can utilize the code on either Next.js4, or you can use the Replit, like we were trying to use the Replit. So like if you are very conversant with Next.js 14, you can go ahead and use that as well. So initially, I requested that you're going to use the Next.js 14, and then later on, because I would like to use the Replit, so I also asked to give a step-by-step usage on using approach of using the Replit. So if you look at this, so gives a detailed instruction that first create a new Replit. So if you've not created yours, you can go ahead and just sign. You can sign on, and then once you sign on, sign up, and then you sign on to it. So, and then once you have that done, then you have to click on create rep. So to create REPL, so you have to go to create app. So you choose a template. And when you are choosing a template, you can choose Next.js app directory. So once you choose the Next.js app directory, you can give a title, plant identifier, and then you click on create. So this is going to populate. So the REPL will help you to input all our customized code, and at the same time, you can test it on the real time. So when we have this, we have the README, and then you can close this assistance. Then the README, you can actually have other, let's add shell to it. So just type in here, gives you the shell where you can write your code. So now let's go back to the file. So let's see all the files that we have in it. So these are all the files. So you can customize all these files. So already those files has some information in it. So we need to customize it to suit what we are trying to derive. So if you go back to the Cloudy, so we want to follow through all this. So it said go to create REPL, choose Next.js from the templates, and then so that we've done. So name your REPL plant identifier. So okay, I'm meant to do plant identifier. It doesn't really matter actually. So click create REPL. So once REPL is created, so you have this. So after being created, you can have on the shell, since we have the shell, so we are going to install this, the generative AI Lucid React. So you have to copy this and then go back to your shell on the REPL and then paste. To move. So while that is loading, let's go back to the Cloudy. So from the Cloudy, so I just want to confirm if you are seeing it on the screen. Are you seeing that on the screen? Okay, just type. I just want to be sure. Okay, all right, thank you. All right, thank you. So yeah, you can actually use I'm using the REPL access to recording of this meeting. So okay. All right.
Recording is on our YouTube. We put it on our YouTube channel as well.
So now the next thing is we are going through this detailed instructions. So the next one is to set up an environment variable. So you have to click on the two button in the left side, and then you select secret and add a new secret key. So you can just go back to your REPL. So you go to tools. So this is the tool icon, and you go to secret, scroll down, you go to secret. And once you get to secret, so you have to create a new secret. So your new secret, since we are using, if you check, we indicated that we'll be using the Google API. So as a result of that, so your key, you need to have your key to be next public Gemini API. So copy that and paste it on the key. And then you go generate your Gemini API key. So to generate that, you go to Gemini, you go to the Google, you can just type API, just type, okay, get Google API. So it's usually on AI Studio. So here is the Google API. So you can create, so once you get API key, it will give you this page, and then you go to create API key. So if you don't have any yet, you can just create a new one. But because I already have one, so I can utilize this. So I can just click on this, and it will take me to all the ones I've actually had. Then I can utilize this particular one. So show key, and then I can copy and close. So you don't share your key with anyone. So it should be private. So you paste it here, and then you add secrets. So that has been done. So we'll move on to the next one. So go to the next step, saying that, so when you go to, so now after creating the files, make sure you need to delete this. So we have to customize these files. So we have to create, and then we change the page.js to txx, and then we have to delete any existing styles directory. They will create a component, and then this. So these are the things that we want to do now. So go back to the script, and then this particular script will go from the top down. So the first thing we need to do here is to go and then customize this app layouts and txt. So you need to go back to your repo. You go back to the repo, then we have to go to app. So this is the app. Then okay, I already have layouts. So we're looking at layouts. So you have to create layouts. I already have layouts. So however, you can create one. And if you don't have a layout, you can just create a layout right from the API. So if you see app to layouts, so you also need to understand the directory, the app to layouts, TSX. So, and this is it, layouts, TXX, just to be sure. So then you copy all that you have in it. Copy this, right? And then go back to the repo. So you have to delete all that you have here. Ensure you delete everything. So once you do that, then paste that which you have. So once that is done, we go back again and then go to the next one. So the next one is page. So app page txx. So you go to the page, you look for the page. This is the page. You have to delete what you already have. So we're trying to customize this. Then go to this. So this is the app tx. So then ensure that you are copying just for that page. So sorry. So just ensure you are copying the right thing. So yeah, here's the page. So copied. Then go to repo and paste. So once you have that done, what's the next step? So we also need to customize app components and then image upload. So if the component is not being created, so we have to create component here. So we need to create component folder and then create the image upload file. So we'll create the component folder first on app. So you go to this, right at the three dots beside the app, you see the add folder. So on the folder, you type components. I guess it should be components, right? So yeah. So the component is there. So let's confirm. So yeah, we have small letter. So components, and then we have the image upload txx. So copy this. We just use that to create that. So that's going to be the file. So on the components, just add file, and then paste that. So we already have this. So on this now, we have to copy all that we have in it and paste it to the repo. So let's go to, we are trying to ensure that we are copying the right thing. So copy. So just confirm. Okay. So copy and paste. All right. So then we'll move to the next step. So we need to create plant info under the folder components. So you have to copy this plant info since we already have the components. So copy the plant info and then create a file under the components. So add a file and paste. So go back and then copy all that you have in it. So right, so you paste. So now let's go to the next stage. The next step is so the environment.local. So you need to create this if it's not been created. So let's check .env. So we check. So it's not there. So we need to create that. So like it was mentioned here, we need to first configure this. And then, so let's create the env.local first. Okay, let's env.local. So create the file, create a folder. Okay, so we have it here. So then we need to, since we have the env already, try to check where the env is. So we just go ahead and just have everything together. env.local. So let's go here and have this created. So env.local, then we copy, since we already have a Gemini key, and then we have this. So let's copy that again. Although can actually, since we already have that in the roots, so I think we might not really need that, but let's see how it goes. So we need to go back to the secret, and then you can copy this again. And then once you copy this, you can paste it on this, your Gemini key. So once you have this, that's done. So then we need to configure, we need to update the next.config.js file. So we need to do this. So to do this, we have to go back to repo, config, config. Okay, so we don't have that here, so we need to create that. So config, next, config, check, next. Okay, we have it. Next.config.js, so we have it. So we copy this and then paste here. Right, so I think that's all. So configure this, so we've done that. We've done that. So then it starts the development server. And once you do that, then you deploy and then you run and then build. So now let's go ahead. So let's run. So let's see the outcome. So Yeah, so let's magnify it and see, and then work with it. So here is it, the plant identifier. So you can put in your image. So like what it's going to do is when you have images, like plant images, you can actually upload the plant image, and then it's going to give you some information, about the plant image. So you can download any of the plant image. I think I have one. I'm not sure if this is one of these. I think this should be one image. Okay. All right, so just need to confirm this. If this is the image. Okay, yeah, so that's the image. So I have an error. So with this error, so definitely sometimes you could have errors. So we have to go back and then check. So now let's go again and then try it. So this is the error, failed to identify the image. So go back to the cloudy. So we have to paste this, and then it seems I've exceeded this. So yeah, so let's go ahead. I think I pasted similar error. Okay, let's just see. So once you have the error, you just paste the error to cloudy, and then it's going to give you some suggestion. So I think I did that initially. So I just want to show that particular error. So yeah, so I think this was the error. So Gemini, the key wasn't working. So, but once the key since the key is not working, there's something you need to do. So we have to change the key, and then yeah, I think it's the compatibility issue. So we have to go and then try to check this. Let's see. So app CSA replace everywhere with just this content. So let's change this content, or let's go to the API again, and then let's see. So need to do something now. So now let's replace this first, and then let's see how it works. So this is the global CS. Let's go to repo, global CSC. Let's change this. Let's replace this. And then let's see. Let's type this. And then let's go back. So go back to this. And let's go. Okay, so it's still failing to identify the plant. Try again. Sometimes it could be that, let's look at the plant. Let's look at the size. Let's go to the layouts. Image upload. So we need to know the size. the prompt info. Okay, so there's no specific size in this. Let's go to okay. All right, so just this. So we could try a different, let's try different plants. Did you try to download the separate plants and then check? So I just want to know if you are following. Check your. Okay, I just want to check some questions. Okay. Aside cloud, if I generate codes for a target application using other chatbots, can I still run successfully on Replit? Yes, yes. It depends on Replit. You can actually Replit is a mixture of using your generative AI and at the same time you are using the an app. It's like app representation of an app, and then while you are testing it on a real time. So yes, you can do that. You can do that. This is the most interesting part of the bootcamp so far. Oh, it's going too fast. So being and creating and ensuring we are copying the right thing. All right, so which area are you lost? You could just go back and check. So where we are now is trying to resolve some of these issues. Sometimes you encounter issues like this. So majorly, once this is done, so the major things here is, I guess it should be the size of the image. So we can download something of a lighter size. And then when we have something of a lighter size, we should be able to resolve that. Okay, so yeah. Engineer John, it seems someone is raising his hand.
Somebody's raising hand.
Okay, I think it's typed already.
You are taking question now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, someone said is fast, that is lost. So I am trying to ask if where is the person, where did he get lost?
Josiah Ibrahim. Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask question. Okay, let me allow them to unmute. Okay, unmute yourself and ask if you are still waiting. Josiah, are you there?
Hello. Good evening.
Yeah,
Can I ask a question? Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening.
Thank you, Paul. First of all, I want to know, is cloud.ai free? Can you use the free version to achieve what you did now? Secondly, I know you were racing against time, but it would have been nice to give us a little background. Okay, first of all, you need to have an account with Cloud AI. And then I saw that you got your prompt. I don't know whether you are the one who designed the prompt that you are using that prompted the Cloud AI to give us the instructions you were demonstrating. And secondly, how you moved from Gemini API to Google. We're a mixture of both people who have never heard anything and people who may have a little knowledge. So it's always good to like give a full background. All of the tools you used, we may not understand how they come into play, how they interconnect with each other. And it would be nice to know all the tools, itemize the tools that are required to achieve this API we are looking at. And then if they are all free, what we need to do, how to sign up on each of these accounts and how to navigate from one end to another. And that's why I think someone was saying you are quite fast. But I understand you are working within a constraint of time. So if it will also be clear if you just take us that basic, build up before the actual implementation, things that we need to set up first before and how all of those tools interact with each other. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for raising that question. With time is the constraint. So as a result of that, if we go back to the basics in terms of trying to go step by step and trying to open each of those accounts, is going to take time because of the limited time we have. So normally I'm supposed to have stopped by 9. So we have extended beyond that. So right, we have tools that we can use, and some of the tools are the ones that I'm currently using, the Reply, and then using cloud. We can actually use other tools, ChatGPT, and then we can use Gemini, we can use DeepSeek, as it were. But the reason why I decided to use cloud AI is because it gives more, the accuracy is actually somehow higher compared to others in terms of coding. So that is one. Then with regards to the prompts, so yes, it's a human prompt. It's not a machine generated prompt. It's a human prompt. So you can prompt anyhow you want to prompt it. You can decide to rephrase the prompt. Let's say, for instance, now, okay, before I go into that, you will discover that whenever I typed I got an error and I'm trying to type the error here. So I'm pasting the error here and clicking this will give me, you see at the top end, you see the message, your messages will exceed the length limit for this chart. So currently I decided to use the free version. So you can actually use the free version, and the free version is for a limited time. So like, for instance, every day you have certain hours, you can use it freely. And then you can use as many prompts, as many messages as you can. You discover that I've actually done a lot here, even before coming here, because of the time. So, and that's the reason why now I've exceeded the limit for the day. So after some hours, it will come back again, and then I can now use more text and all that. So that is it. So we can actually do that. You can use a free version to achieve what I'm doing. So I'm totally using a free version to achieve this. So I don't know if that answers your question.
And then, Doc, Prof, if you permit me also, is that this training for 3 days, you can see we only have 2 hours. It's just for 3 days, is to give you an insight, is to open your eye to what is out there so that you can also plan to learn more. Our program is actually on our website. If you go to nvit.tech/courses, or if you click on the services, you will be able to subscribe to some of the time. And that is where you really now, a prof can have good time for you and many other people that have been talking to you since yesterday, and even people that were not in this program. And so learning AI, just to be sincere with you, is a very expensive something to learn. They are very expensive courses. Of course, I know some of you online knows about that as well. So when it comes to more technical and everything, that is this thing. We really need time, and we'll understand that. But we are using this time to also open you up to begin to think and reason and see what can really help you. You can use AI to do wonders. I can tell you that. I mean, do something that is very, very, very interesting. It can solve a lot of problems. And so knowing it is very, very, very key. So I just want to say that to to respond to what whoever has asked already asked as well. We have good model in terms of curriculum, their best practice in the industry, from practical part, materials, and even books. And of course, even books that maybe authored by Prof too, and some of us, So you have access to them, and those are very interesting type of thing. And we are here to help you. So, Prof, because of our time, maybe you have like 10 minutes more to take few questions, and then we can call it a day. Why tomorrow is another day. It's going to be interesting. We'll give Prof. In fact, Prof is going to be about Dr. Paul and Dr. Jonathan is going to be available tomorrow. Myself, I'll be available tomorrow, and I'll talk to you about AI agent and assistants. It's going to be really practical. And I will look at different scenarios myself to really talk to you. So invite your friend to be with us tomorrow. Beyond that, if you're interested in the certificate of attendance, it's 5,000 for those people in Nigeria, just as a tip to help, to support our team. And then if you're outside Nigeria, $10. If you want to give more, thank God for you. And thank you. Prof, you have like 10 minutes to bring it to a close for today. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So, yeah. So, majorly people are asking, can I use AI to do this? Can I use it? Absolutely, you can use AI to do anything whatsoever. Now, it's an assistant, so it's not to take our job. So that's the reason why we upskill. So when we are in an environment a setting where we need to use AI, or we need to do something more extraordinary, so we need to use the AI assist to complement what we're doing and then make it more better. So it's there to help us. So as a result of that, AI can actually suit every facet of one's life. Whatever events you undertake on a daily basis, AI can assist you perform such daily tasks. So I can say to you categorically, without mercy word, that AI can help you achieve anything whatsoever. So I just want to give a brief of what I've demonstrated. I give this as an example. There are a lot of challenges in Africa, especially Nigeria, that we can solve with AI. So a lot of people are doing that, and I believe going into that or launching into that early enough will be good, because there are people that are early adopters, and then early adopters, you see that they are always at the forefront. So this engagement is just to encourage you to come on board and then try to engage in AI, the use of AI, use the tools, and then you see the wonders you can do with the tools. So what we have done here is we have integrated AI into an app. So we are creating an app, and a mobile app. It could be a mobile app, or a window app, or whatsoever app you are looking at. So when you are developing your app, you want to integrate AI into it. So when you're integrating AI into it, how does the AI come in? So here we are looking at, okay, plant identification. Like, we want this model to be able to identify my plants. So the identification is the classification. So you are classifying the plant into categories. What species the plant? So what species is it? And then also, can you explain, once you get the species of the plant, what is the benefits? And then how can I use this species of plant? So that is the identification, and then the information, the knowledge. This you can actually derive directly from ChatGPT or Gemini. But because you are using the app, so it makes it much easier. You don't need to do a prompt anymore, because the prompt has been done. So all you just need to do is, because the prompt is now specific. You have a specific task you want the prompt to do. So because of that, you have the prompt done, and then anyone using it does not need to recreate any prompt. So you just need to use the video to take the plant, or let's say I'm giving a different examples. Let's say, for instance, you want to identify, maybe you have maybe MRI data sets in the health sector, and then you want to identify this data. You want to identify if that data, if the image consists of maybe a growth of cancer, and then you want to be able to detect cancer, early cancer detection. So with this, you can actually, you look at the, you have to, get this model and then fine tune this model so that whenever you are putting your image, this model is going to detect that position, and then it's going to give you the type of cancer it is that it might be growing, and then give you the implication of that, and then how you can also solve this cancer. So there are a lot of questions, there are a lot of things that you can actually do using the AI. So someone was asking, can I use this to create I think I answered the person. He said, okay, can AI to use, okay, no, so not that. He said, please, can you just give a, no, not this. Sorry. I think I answered the person. It's also asking if we can use AI to probably to prepare, to do an app, a questionnaire. I can remember a questionnaire. So I said, yes, you can do that. And then you can integrate it with AI, and then create this app and integrate it with AI. And then that questionnaire can actually have diverse, questions based on the information the person is inputting in. Let's say, for instance, you are creating a questionnaire for school, and then you want a situation whereby the individual will put an information like your email and your class. So that's class questions is going to be generated based on the class of that person. So once the person is, let's say, for instance, the person is in, let's say, year one, the questions that will be asked will be based on year one specifics. Like the year one is usually freshers. So it's going to be based on what freshers experience when they are coming on campus. So these are the questions that will come. So if the person is year two, there is going to be a different question entirely. So AI can help you modify this. So when you create the app, questionnaire app, whereby it's going to give question based on the information the person is imputing. Like you are imputing the class where you are, your email and your name is going to help generate a question that's related to the field or related to the class of the person. So there are a lot of things that we can use AI to do, and we can also use it in the financial sector. Like you want to detect fraud, and then how can I use it to detect fraud? There are a lot of things you can do with that. Let's say, for instance, everything is on mobile now. People go on mobile, send money via, mobile app and all that. So you want a situation whereby when someone is sending money and then the money does not get missing, or someone else does not hack into the person's account. So you can create, an AI model where that can actually detect that, and then the person will be safe from, unlawful hackers or whatsoever. So this is very much possible. So there are various applications that we can actually, we can model out of AI. So when you do this, you will see that it makes life much more easier. When you look at the agricultural sector also, in the agricultural sector, we can utilize this. And then when you utilize this, we have drones, and then the drones can actually sense the soil. And then when it senses the soil, it will, be able to give the content of the soil. So you can use this to generate, and you don't need to go to the farmland. It can give you the content of the soil at a particular time. So if it needs more nourishment, more manure, or more enrichment, then the farmer can actually go in and then do that to a specific location. If you have a vast number of land, so you want to do that, that's possible. So you can see there's this Air Max. So a lot of companies are coming into Nigeria to start using AI to, to make life easier for farmers. So this is also one of the good aspects that one can implement this AI application. So there are various of them. So I'm going to take more questions, then can call it a day.
Yeah, Prof, just one question at this time, because we are very, very far away from our normal time now, but we'll understand. If there are questions, maybe you can take one, 2 questions, then we round up.
Okay.
And
All
Dr.
right,
Jonathan is also online. If you see have question for him, you can also ask, but we take 2 or 3 questions more, not more than.
okay, someone was asking, can Reply be used to create complex ML model apps? Well, I know, yeah, if you want to create a more complex one, there are agentic AIs. So I think Engineer John will also be talking about that. So there are agentic AI applications that are more robust. So Reply is good, yeah, although it might have its own limitations. So all these apps have their own limitations, all these applications. So what you need to do is that until you start using them, that's where you will know the limitations of this app. So definitely you can use the complex ML model on it, because what do you mean by complex ML model? So ML model, as long as you are using ChatGPT, because ChatGPT cloud, they are trained on a large data sets, and this model are sophisticated. So I can regard them to be, sophisticated or complex ML. So yes, I can say to you that Reply can actually be used for that. We've done one, and then we've been able to integrate the cloud AI, and then you're able to put the Gemini secret key into it. So yes, it's very much possible. Yeah. Then also after doing this, you can launch it and then go into production and then start making your money online. And people can also buy it online. So there are a lot of things you can do on it. So it's very much very good. Yeah, you can monetize. That's the question someone was asking. Can it be monetized? Yes, it can be monetized. So currently, if you check online, you will see this plant identifier. It's actually being monetized. Someone is using it to make money. There's a price tag to it. So if you check online, you will see if you want to do that alone, it's around probably $900. Or I mean, probably don't let me. I'm not really sure of the amount, but if you check, you will see that you can actually monetize this. So this is the reason why I use this, because it is currently being monetized. So you can create a different app entirely, that you see solving problems. And when you do this, people appreciate it. People can use it, and then they get their problem solved. It takes time. It doesn't take time for them, and they pay for the service. So you don't need to hire a developer to start, creating something. So that's the edge AI has over that. So you can see it makes life easier. You can have your work done with immediate effects without contacting a developer. If you are going to contact a developer is going to charge you a very huge sum of money. So rather than do that, AI has simplified the whole thing. So yes, you can actually do that. Okay.
Yeah. Any other question, Prof? We really appreciate you. He's still going to talk about it tomorrow. But again, the 3 days not enough. Just a quick one. Let me share my screen, everybody, and I can. If you go to our website, and then this is NVIT website, nvit.tech, and you go here, you click the services. Of course, it will land you here. I'm in the US, so you don't be afraid. This is for people outside Nigeria. And then, of course, we do have scholarship once in a while too, that if, depending on what you want to do, don't let the money intimidate you. For Nigeria, you will see in Naira, it's not equivalent of this. It's because we operate in country based on the GDP of the country. So they are different price. And of course, our team is also reviewing. So even if you see, you need to talk. There are different programs for AI that are there. You can, some for 28 weeks. We have some for 24 weeks. We have for even 12 weeks. I think particularly, which one? Okay, we have even generative AI and its application 16 weeks. I think we do have prompt engineering in 12 weeks for large language model as well. We do have various programs. You need to also understand that AI now is important, wherever you are, whether you are in the church or whatever, or for business, for NGO, in as much that anywhere you are has a problem, you can use AI tools that are available in the market, or you can build them. In fact, tomorrow when I'm talking tomorrow, in practical term, once I discuss, we will pick one and build together that in just few minutes, we could have an agent, we could have AI assistants assisting us to carry out job on our behalf. So imagine you rather than you going to Facebook to be posting, you see AI checking the post, give you summary, and then scheduling posting that you are pre-approved, and at every 6 a.m. it does the posting for you. A lot of things can help you to do your tasks. And those are the things that we are bringing to you. And there are a lot of problems around us. So you now to begin to think, how can I solve them? And so we are here to help you, guide you, impart the knowledge in you so that you can do it yourself. We also build too, by the way. We build those models. Presently, we are building one which Professor Paul has been really supporting. We call it Jericho AI. It's not launched yet, but it will be launched very soon. It helps to reduce costs for people that uses different cloud or services from different cloud providers. And so we train a large language model that helps to review the expense over historical spend and reduce costs even up to, so far in the lab, we have tested up to even 85% around like EC2 from AWS or those type of things. So you can use it to build something that a problem you want to solve on a personalized level. And so the knowledge is very important. And once again, we really appreciate you for already some people who are interested in the certificate of attendance. They're already supporting. It's not that we are charging for the training. I can tell you the same training we are doing now, right now, for these 3 days is not less than $5,000, but we are not charging. So what you are doing is people, especially person designing the certificate because of the number, we really need to get them out to you. And so it's a support, 5,000 Naira. Those of you, it's on the chat and also on the WhatsApp. And then if you're outside Nigeria, it's just $10 just to appreciate the team that have organized, come up with this idea for us to train you. Once again, I do appreciate you. See you same time, 3 p.m. Nigerian time tomorrow. And that will be the final day for this first session of AI for Everyone. And have a very good day. Thank you and God bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.